down to one reactor. Thought we'd be stopped dead. At least stuck at impulse power.
The Takan enhancements must be able to brute force limited bursts of warp output.
Yeah, but they won't get to wherever they were headed at this rate. They're just limping along now.
So where does that put us?
Maybe I can answer that. I got the ship's heading.
They've changed course. Drastically.
Looks like they're headed here. The Usonia system. They might stop there.
Can we use the Zeldi's comms to signal your fleet?
My comm systems are locked.
Grab hold! The inertial dampeners can barely keep up. If they keep forcing this ship to make these short warp jumps, they're going to tear it apart.
Zeldi is still made by Lydian hands, despite all this Takan corruption. It will hold.
Then we just gotta stay safe until Starfleet can find us.
Your people, is there somewhere you go when you die?
Life after death? No. On my homeworld, some people think they can cheat death in a way by joining with the Trill symbiont. But that's not a life to me.
What about you? Is there another plane of existence for you? With every passing battle.
I think there's just no way for us to know what happens after we die.
Really?
Maybe there's something more, maybe not. But I can't discount the possibility. You can't prove a negative.
Then maybe you can understand this. My people have a special journey. When Lydians die, we rejoin our comrades, family, and ancestors.
On the parade grounds of Cirella?
That is just one part of it, but yes. Death is not the end for us. So, even if some part of Itasca remains, by letting the Takan use her body, at best we are delaying the inevitable next step for her. At worst, we are leaving her as a prisoner in her own mind. You want to save the transformed. So do I.
Now that I've seen it happen, does it make me a hypocrite to say he has a point? What if we can't get them back? We can't leave them like that, right?
I think Itasca would want to be released.
I know it's awful to think about, but if they're still alive, we can still try to help them. We lose that option once they're dead.
I had a sister, a twin. It's very rare among the Trill.
You never told me that.
She was one of the youngest hosts to ever join with the symbiont. A sentient creature that lives in our body. It's considered a great honor. The symbiont can bring centuries of knowledge and wisdom to the host. But sometimes, the symbiont personality suppresses the host entirely. My sister was the closest person in the world to me. I knew she would be different after joining. But she drew more and more distant. The room we shared growing up was foreign to the both of us. And eventually she, or whoever she'd become, cut me out entirely. So I left for Starfleet and swore I'd never go back. I couldn't stand the thought of seeing her. Someone who looked like my sister.
So, losing Miranda like this, Opened an old wound.
Never really closed up in the first place.
You remind me of Itasca.
I do?
Bonds are not made by what runs through your veins, but the blood you spilled together. Itasca was my family in that way. I want you to know there is nothing I won't sacrifice to win this fight. But if we're lucky enough to survive, I'd be honored if you'd count me as one of your tribe. As Itasca was.
Even a couple of engineers like us?
I don't need to wait that long. We've bled together. No one else will know what we've been through. That makes us a tribe. Right here.
I'll take that.
Will they not cease this madness?
What is this place?
Is that the Veskar?
Another one of yours?
Not anymore. They've corrupted it, just like the Zeldi.
Now there are 2 ships. Did this just get better? Or worse?
It certainly doesn't bode well for the crew of the Veskar. So many lives stolen.
We're really at the heart of this fight now. We just gotta figure out what we're gonna do about it.
This doesn't look like the Aphelion. What are they doing here?
You don't think they're just meeting their buddies?
Maybe, but then why are their buddies here?
Prepare for transfer.
The storm! It's back! What happened?
Hold on. Scanning. Metric radiation is dropping. The Zeldi's dropped to minimal power levels.
It's running off just the one warp core now.
That means...
They've sent the Cartabula to that other ship.
Something wrong, Captain?
No, nothing's wrong. In fact, I was just going to call for you. I'm needed down in engineering. The bridge is yours.
Commander Westbrook, a word, please.
I'm busy here, so let's make it quick. What's this about?
The captain may have been compromised. I have reason to believe he's been bioformed, and is now actively working against us.
Come on. You can't be serious.
Someone is sabotaging the mission. They planted a Taconian device in engineering. Captain Solano was in engineering while we were on Delphi Ardu 4, and he purposely evaded Dr. Duval's bioscan.
That's ridiculous. I just spoke with him a few minutes ago. He was as normal as ever. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do.
Listen, I know we've had our differences, but I need you to hear me out on this.
What evidence do you have to even support this preposterous claim?
I'm working on that.
Right. You've rarely put your trust in me before. Which, ironically, only makes your story more believable. You're clearly not looking for whoever is most likely to go along with you. If you go through with this, and you're right about Solano, you'll be the new captain of the Resolute.
I hoped I would be captain someday, but I didn't want it to happen like this.
I'll have your back, but you damn well better be right.
It's now or never.
Captain Solano.
Commander Rydek, we need to talk about... Doctor? What brings you to the bridge?
Just a bit of housekeeping. You owe me a bioscan, Captain.
I don't have time for that right now.
It will only take a moment. I can't put this off any longer.
You can, and you will. All you'll find is that I'm quite reasonably under stress given the circumstances, and you aren't making it better. I'll find you in sickbay when I'm good and ready. Or, if you're gonna stand in the way of the mission, I can find you in the brig instead.
It's merely protocol, Captain. All officers that touch alien soil have to be bioscanned.
I know the protocol. It's not more important than chasing down these Taconian marauders.
The crew looks to you for guidance, Captain. It may seem like a nuisance, but it would set the right example.
What is this?
We need you to comply with the scan, Captain.
That's enough. Drop this. All of you. I'm giving you a direct order, Commander Rydek. Stand down and go back to your post. Now. Do not make me tell you again. I've been a starship captain since before you were in the Academy.
This is for your own good, Captain.
This is for your own good as well. Security to the bridge. Arrest Commander Rydek. Take her to the brig.
On what charge?
Conspiring with the enemy and mutiny.
Captain, please reconsider.
I've given my order.
This is not Captain Solano. He's been bioformed. He's a scion.
You're out of your mind.
Commander Rydek has proof.
He sabotaged our efforts to track Galvin with this. He planted it in engineering while we were down on Delphi Ardu 4.
Lies! Perpetrated by the only Takan in our midst, Portal 6-3. He's actively trying to divide us from within.
Captain Solano has refused to be bioscanned because he knows it will reveal he's a scion.
Take her to the brig, or I'll do it myself. Oh!
Wait! Stand Stand down! That's an order!
What is the meaning of this? Everyone hold until we get answers. This cannot happen on the bridge of a Federation starship.
He's a Scion. You have to believe me. That's not Captain Solano, as much as you'd like to think it is.
If you're wrong, there's no coming back from this.
I'm going to settle this once and for all.
Commander Rydick was right. Captain Solano has been compromised. He's been bioformed into a Takan.
As the Chief Medical Officer of the USS Resolute, I am relieving Captain Zachary Solano of command.
Take him to the brig.
I don't know what to say. I'm stunned.
We all are.
Well, there's no going back now. You are, rightfully, the captain of the Resolute. And I'm with you from here on out. I need you to know that.
Right now, more than anything, I need to know I can count on your support.
Absolutely. You have my word.
We have to come together to make this work.
Whatever you need me to do.
Set course for the Usonia system. Maximum warp. It's time to face Galvin.
Yes, Commander. Sorry. Captain. On your command.
Engage. Stations. Shield status.
Set to maximum, but with the algorithms compromised, they may not do much.
Captain, that other Elydian ship is here.
The Zeldi?
We're outnumbered.
Captain, your orders.
Evasive maneuvers.
Aye, Captain.
The Veskar's warp engines are powering up.
Our warp engines are offline.
That must have been their goal. They didn't want us to chase the Veskar.
According to my readings, they also took the Cartabula with them.
They're not breaking off. We have to destroy the Zeldi before it destroys us.
With Diaz and Edsalar still over there?
They'll need to evacuate.
Come on.
I almost have it.
They got gotta know we're here. Hurry! You got it?
Got it! DS to Resolute!
We read you, Diaz.
This is Ermot. It's good to hear your voice. Is Edsalar... is she with you? Everyone wants to know.
Yeah, we're both here. We're both okay.
Very good, Petty Officer.
Can you get us out of here?
I can't transport you out while the Zeldy's shields are up. Our phaser fire won't even get through. Is there another way off that ship?
We'll find a way.
Whatever you do, you'll have to be quick about it, because we can't give you much more time. We can't evade the Zeldy forever.
Understood. Diaz out. We're gonna have to get out of here the old-fashioned way.
Lydian ships have no escape pods.
We can leave out that cargo bay we transported to before. But then there's the vacuum of space to contend with.
Those freight containers. Maybe we could use those to make an escape pod?
Is that even possible?
We're gonna make it possible. Unless you have a better idea.
Let's go.
I've polarized the hull plating. That should allow us to take a few more hits. Enemy phaser impact dissipated.
Heading, Captain?
Attack pattern Beta 3. Circle around that asteroid and come back firing.
Aye, Captain.
Zeldy, in range.
Fire!
Zeldy's shields down to 82%.
We're doing damage, but they're hitting us right back. We'll run out of hull before we penetrate their shields.
Perhaps I can be of assistance. I can modify your impulse engines to amplify their meager output and avoid more of their attacks. But I will need full access to your propulsion systems.
That goes against dozens of Starfleet regulations.
It's not a security risk if the alternative is destruction.
To me, it's simple. You can take this beating and hope you can weather it. Or will you put your trust in me? I've left everything behind for you. The least you can do is put your faith in me.
Commander Ermot, give Bortle access to the propulsion systems. You're going to have the ship in your hands. Don't let me down.
This will take a moment.
Your ship has let up its fire.
That gives us some time.
All right. One of these freight containers should do the trick.
Be quick.
We need one big enough for all of us to fit inside. Something we can make airtight. Damn it, not this one.
Not enough room for the big guy. No way this will hold up in a vacuum. Here we go. This'll work.
That's great, but it's not airtight yet.
No problem. We'll just seal it up.
This container is extremely heavy. Even with the containment field open, it won't leave the bay quickly. I'll find something to accelerate our exit.
glancing blow. Very little damage.
I cannot keep this up for long.
Their phaser banks are recharging. Now's our window. We have to strike back.
I agree.
Their next barrage could be our last. Better make this count.
Target their weapon systems. Take the teeth out of their bite.
That could make them run. Just like the Veskar, we'd lose Diaz and Etzelar again. Hit their engines. We've already lost the Veskar.
We need to protect ourselves first.
Target their propulsion systems. I don't want them going anywhere.
Targeting their engines.
Whoa. We gotta move it now.
These will give us the push we need.
Those are explosives.
We'll ride the blast right out of here. All set.
I'll set the containment field to deactivate, and then run back. We can detonate by remote.
We'll need to seal the doors from inside the container once we do.
Before all the air sucks out of the cargo bay.
Just a few more moments.
Hurry! What are they doing in there? Please, help me.
No. Let the Khan get what they deserve.
Don't leave me to die.
I don't know. Can we really leave her?
We can't. We don't have the time. We have to seal ourselves in.
This ship can't fly. Sidron set it to self-destruct. Please, Amenta.
Oh,
It's not her.
no. I know it's not.
Carter, we have to seal the doors.
Don't leave me.
Get this lifeboat off the ship before Sidron blows it all to hell!
We're going.
Etzelar to Resolute.
I have the away team.
Go ahead.
We're about to exit.
We see the cargo bay containment field is deactivated.
Get that tractor beam ready. And you should know, the Zeldy is set to self-destruct.
If we do enough damage to the Zeldy first, it'll prevent the self-destruct sequence from completing.
Can't wait any longer. We have to fire.
Captain, they're almost out of there.
We need to act fast.
Hold all fire! Get out of there, Petty Officer. Do it now!
You heard her.
Done!
Ready?
Detonate!
Oh!
We're out.
I have them on sensors. Tractor beam activating.
Locked on and ready to fire.
Fire!
Tractor beams locked on. We have them. They'll be pulled into the docking bay shortly.
There's something else. I tracked a transporter signal to the planetoid moments before the Zeldi detonated.
Sidron.
There's a Takan structure there. It's the reason they were here. It's the reason we are here. Now.
I have to see it for myself. We'll go there together.
I had assumed as much.
Is this the Takan arsenal Galvin was after?
Legend says this region once held the sacred mysteries of the Takan Empire. Our greatest treasure. Our most fearsome technology.
I want a full security detail. Westbrook, Bredrosian, you're with me. Mr. Ermont, you have the con.
Wait. You're not the first officer anymore. The captain is supposed to stay with the ship. I'm surprised Lieutenant Bedrosian didn't raise that first.
I thought Captain Rydek knew what she was doing.
You're right. But this is too important for me to sit out. You'll just have to make sure nothing happens to me down there.
Of course, Captain.
We'll deal with the first officer vacancy when we return. Until then, Mr. Ermont?
Yes, Captain.
Any sign of Sidron?
Not that I can see.
High alert, everyone. The enemy could be anywhere. Follow my lead.
Let's make this a short mission, all right?
That's the plan.
I'm no security officer. I'll do my best to make sure nothing happens to you, Captain. Phasers should make quick work of the ice. Is this another Takan vault?
I don't see a way in.
Vault in the mines was already open.
There must be some way to activate it.
Look around. There must be some sort of hidden mechanism to trigger it.
I don't see anything.
Are you done? Hidden mechanism. Better to keep it simple. Sometimes the answer is staring you right in the face.
Nicely done. Spread out. Let's see what we can find. And stay on high alert. We don't know where the Takan that beamed down here could be.
You will need my help, Commander.
How so?
Traversal here is trivial for a Takan, but only a Takan. When you come across a device you cannot use, merely call my name.
Will do. Thank you. This pattern resembles the transporter device Petty Officer Maris used to escape the Resolute. Portal 6-3?
You wish to make use of this device?
It's a transporter of some kind?
It allows Takan to move through space instantly a short distance. Very convenient. I will activate the system for you.
Where does it go?
I'm not sure. The markings here must be from after my time.
Well, only one way to find out. I should look elsewhere. Soil. Just soil. It's not from this planet, nor any planet in the Federation database. Why is this here?
This is soil from the homeworld. Our capital system. This isn't an arsenal. It's a temple of the ancients. Sacred ground to the Takan. I took my oath as a guardian of the Empire in a place just like this. You cannot imagine the look of pride in my parents' eyes as they said goodbye. Forever. Sorry. This is the first I've seen of anything new from the Takan Empire in a very long time. I'm sure you're familiar with the feeling. That sense of loss. I thought I was ready for it. But it cuts to the core of your being.
I totally understand that feeling. It's unavoidable and inescapable no matter what you do.
Yes, it's that distant but familiar feeling that's forever just out of reach.
Can you use this to find out more about what Galvin is after?
The information's encrypted. I can only discern that it's a warship. No. It's the Aphelion. Perhaps the most powerful Taconian ship ever built. I can't access the full file, but looking through the ship's schematics, it appears to be equipped with some sort of experimental, highly advanced transporter technology.
Transporter technology? For what?
Captain, you better come see this. There are more up ahead.
From the looks of it, I'd say someone left in a hurry.
Probably right around the time we showed up.
I've seen these before, in the other vault. And if all of those are the same as this, then there must be...
Hundreds of millions, if not billions. All that remains of the Dakan civilization. A distinct person, encapsulated in crystalline form. Preserved for all eternity.
You thought this was an arsenal. And in a way, you're right. This is how they rebuild the Dakan Empire, and bioform billions of innocent people.
That seems to be the case. What you have to understand is, these life forms were preserved for the benefit of the Dakan civilization, as a means of safeguarding the health and well-being of any Dakan, should they fall prey to illness or injury. They were never intended to be used for this purpose.
There you are wrong. This was always their purpose, to restore the glory that was lost. Congratulations on your first victory in battle, Captain Rydek. You killed a great many of my compatriots, some that I've known for millennia. Are you proud of how much death you've caused? Each Dakan life is precious, irreplaceable. Centuries of knowledge and culture, lost with each one you murder.
I was protecting my crew. It's regrettable to take any life. But when someone threatens galactic civilization, force is the correct response.
And I suppose it worked. For now. Thankfully, I don't have to convince you of anything. We'll all be on the same side soon enough.
You can't just bioform whoever you want. Not without a fight.
Ah, but that's just it. There won't be a fight. In fact, most won't even know what's happened. 1 minute you're standing there as you. The next, you're standing here as one of us.
He's talking about mass transformation. That's what the Aphelion was built for.
A transporter. It'll reconstitute your DNA and bioform you into a Takan in the blink of an eye. This is what they'll use as ammunition.
In a manner of speaking, yes. Of course, that's the simple version. But the end result will be the same.
I realize you're here to gloat, and you seem pretty confident, but I'm not gonna let that happen.
It already is happening. The Aphelion is on its way here as we speak. Now it's only a matter of time. You can't delay that which is inevitable. Which makes your next decision fairly simple, brother. You are, after all, a portal.
I am.
Your sole purpose is to serve as a guardian of the Takan Empire. But you stand here surrounded not by your fellow Takan, but by members of the Federation. By people who deny our fundamental right to exist. You swore an oath to protect the Empire. And I can only assume that's why you're here.
There is only one true Takan here, and that's Portal. You're a scion, a disgrace to the memory of the Takan, brought back through unnatural means.
I only tolerate your presence so long as you continue to amuse me. Which side are you on?
Captain Rydek, long-range sensors suggest a massive spacecraft approaching in the distance.
The time has come. I hope we speak again, brother.
Estimated time to contact, 6 minutes and counting.
We can't stay here. We have to get back to the ship.
And we have to preserve these souls. We must take them back to your ship.
Those crystals are ammunition to be used against us. We have to destroy them. Bombard the site from orbit.
I'll decide, once we're safely aboard the Resolute. Forward to transport.
You have to hear me out, Captain. I've always stood by you. But if you bring those things on board, I'll have no choice but to resign.
If they're taken to the Aphelion, they will be forced into new bodies, brought back to life in a way they never asked for.
They're not living beings, but they're still dangerous. And if you don't make decisions to protect us, we're gonna end up like Solano. You, me, the entire crew. We're all next.
Two minutes and counting. It's headed straight toward the vault. The Aphelion is coming into view now, Captain.
On screen.
Arrival at the second vault in less than a minute.
I would remind you, those life forms are Takan, not science. Takan. They're not your enemy.
Right or wrong, history will judge you for this moment.
Transport the storage crystals aboard the Resolute.
Did I hear that right?
That's an order.
storage crystals are on board, in our cargo bay.
Thank you. I won't forget this.
I hope you realize what you've done. We don't need another captain who's gonna risk our lives just to feed their ego. This ship and this crew come first.
Lieutenant.
She has to hear it.
This isn't about me. It's our duty as Starfleet officers to protect life, wherever and however we find it. And I couldn't let them fall into Galvin and Sidron's hands. I had to do it this way.
And to think, I used to look up to you.
The Aphelion is targeting us, approaching rapidly.
They hit us with that bioforming ray, and it's over. Maximum warp. Get us out of here.
Where, Captain?
Anywhere but here. Now!
There they are!
You did what had to be done with the Tasker. I know you held out hope, but it's what she would have wanted. Itasca can rest now. Even if I wavered in the moment. It wasn't a question of time.
If you believe, I'm sure you'll see her again.
I do. And I shall.
Oh, no surprises here. But your shoulders separated. If you come with me to sickbay, we can get you fixed up in no time.
Thank you. I'll find you afterwards.
You two, check in at your stations. This thing isn't over yet.
She was a good little escape pod. Not that I want another ride like that anytime soon.
You're really making us proud out there, Diaz. The lower decks don't get a lot of glory.
Well, I'm just getting started.
Diaz.
Yeah?
Did you see our people over there? Miranda?
Kapoor, Hauser?
We saw Miranda and Kapoor, but they're bioformed. And as far as I know, there's no way to undo it.
That means they're not our friends anymore.
If they attack us?
We'll have to stop them. No matter what it takes.
Yeah. I guess we have to be ready for that.
I can't believe it, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing Chovak. Not that I'd expect this kind of welcome from him, but I can just imagine the look on his face.
Oh, come on, he's got to give us some credit for all we've done.
We'll see. Then again, if he doesn't, that's just Chovak being Chovak.
I can't believe it! You evaded the Takan, ejected their warp cores, and lived to talk about it!
That about sums it up.
They're gonna be teaching this at the Academy for years to come. I mean it. Everybody's gonna learn how you pulled it off.
The Academy? Oh, well, I wouldn't know about that.
After this, you'll probably get a personal invitation to show them how it's done. I heard about Belle. Is Miranda...
As far as we know, she's still out there.
Well, I know Captain Rydek will do her best to get her back.
Hold on. Rydek? What about Captain Solano?
He was turned into a Takan. Rydek had to take over. She's a hell of an officer, but none of us have been up against anything like this. No one has. Not in 500,000 years.
I guess there's never a dull moment around here, huh?
You telling me it's not always like this?
Not if we can help it.
Talk to you later.
It is agreeable to see you again.
Is that so?
It was by no means a certainty that you would return to duty here.
It is agreeable to see you as well, sir.
I concur.
You should know your absence has left engineering terribly short-handed. During your sojourn, this department has fallen unacceptably behind schedule on both regular and irregular duties.
There's been a whole lot of irregularity going around.
I gotta admit, it's a little flattering that this place went to hell so fast without me. So, I'll take that as a compliment.
I believe factors other than your absence were also to blame. Normally, I would assign you to one of the many pressing repair tasks. But, given your experience on board the Zeldi, I have suggested you join the senior staff briefing as we determine our next course of action. You can commence your maintenance shift afterwards.
I tended to an Illidian earlier. Major Sarlet Arminta.
Ah, yes. I met him at the negotiations.
I never would have imagined I'd be here, on the same ship, working together with our oppressors. But now that I am, I can imagine a future where the Hotari and Illidians are no longer enemies. I always hoped for peace, but it seems so far away. There's still a lot of bad blood.
Well, if there's any way I can help, let me know.
I'll take you up on that. It's good to have the support of a Starfleet captain, I'm sure.
It's coming along nicely. Thank you, Tylus. I'll take it from here. We're almost done.
I have to brief Ambassador Spock in a few minutes.
Ambassador Spock can wait. You have some fences to mend. Personally, I'm against the needless destruction of innocent life forms, so I'm glad you transported the Taconian crystals onto the ship. But Lieutenant Bedrosian obviously feels otherwise. And right now, you need the full support of your bridge crew. Being an effective leader requires trust, but an issue as divisive as this can create discord.
I don't expect everyone will agree with my decisions, and she's entitled to a different opinion, but I'll handle Lieutenant Bedrosian.
You'll be fine, just as long as people feel like they're being heard. It's been a chaotic last few days for everyone. You need to name a new first officer in preparation for what's coming. You'll have to work to regain Lieutenant Bedrosian's trust, but if she's removed from consideration, it comes down to Westbrook or Ermot. Obviously, there are pros and cons with each, but ultimately, the decision is yours. Commander Westbrook has seniority and was hoping to be Captain Solano's first officer. Ermot has the knowledge and experience that makes him more than qualified.
At the moment, I'm leaning toward selecting Commander Westbrook as the new first officer.
That would be an excellent choice, considering your history. The crew would respect the fact you chose someone likely to challenge your opinions and present a different point of view. You're as good as new.
Thank you, Dr. Duvall.
Always nice to have a captive audience. You really really shouldn't keep Ambassador Spock waiting.
Captain.
I'll meet you inside.
I'm here to officially tender my resignation from the crew of the USS Resolute. I cannot in good conscience continue to serve aboard this ship.
Lieutenant, we both know how much we need your help and expertise for the coming conflict. I have no one to replace you.
I understand, Captain. And I apologize. But my heart is not in it any longer. And to stay would be a disservice to us both.
My door is always open if you change your mind.
I appreciate that.
We'll have Ambassador Spock via subspace shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Armand.
I'll notify Lieutenant Bedrosian we're about to begin.
That won't be necessary.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar have first-hand experience with our adversaries. I thought it advantageous for them to join this briefing. I understand this is unusual, but I trust you have no objections?
Talk about moving up in the world.
These are unusual times, Mr. Chovak.
In all seriousness, what Diaz and Edsalar accomplished aboard the Zeldi is nothing short of remarkable. They're both to be commended, not only for surviving against incredible odds, but for helping our efforts against these scions.
You know, Carter deserves most of the credit. None of us would have made it without his help. We'd all be bioformed by this point.
There were way more people involved than just me. Not only Petty Officer Edsalar, but we had help from an Elydian officer named Arminta as well.
Interesting.
Ambassador Spock is ready for you.
Put him through.
Captain Rydek, your recent change in station certainly warrants mention, and I trust you to faithfully execute your expanded duties. Right now, we must keep our attention on the clear and present danger that lies ahead, the Takan and their warship. The closest populations are the Hotari and Elydian systems, and they are likely the first targets for mass bioforming. After that, lies Federation space. I have advised Starfleet Command to send an impromptu battle group to intercept and assist you, but that will take time. You are our first line of defense. And with our shield algorithms compromised, we are at a great disadvantage. Of course, you know that as well as I do.
I'm glad to hear the battle group is en route, Ambassador. With what we're up against, we're gonna need all the help we can get.
And you will have it. Remember, our strength is drawn from our ability to work together towards a common goal.
Have we made any progress in finding a way to defend ourselves from the Aphilion's bioforming weapon?
Currently, our shields will not protect us, but I am compiling all of the information the away team gathered on the Zeldi and cross-referencing it against our own as well as Portal 6-3's methods.
The away team is sitting right here. They survived without getting bioformed, so we know it's possible. So, what's the secret? How do we defend ourselves? Is there a weakness we can exploit? Something we can do to avoid getting bioformed?
I wish I could tell you the solution. But the truth is, there is no easy answer. There's no defense against bioforming. One-on-one or on a mass scale. At least, not that I know of.
We may not be able to stop it, but it might be possible to slow it down. It's too soon to say for sure, but we've had some promising indications that Duridium can delay the bioforming process.
Duridium?
It's not a cure. It's not going to bring anyone back we've already lost. But Duridium is a cell stabilizer, so it has the potential to slow down the onset of physical and mental changes, if not entirely prevent them. And we might be the only ship in the fleet with this much Duridium on hand. In fact, a lot of ships wouldn't have any.
You say that it slows the process, but this doesn't actually stop the Takan from taking over, does it?
Correct. I can't be 100% certain, but it appears this is only a short-term solution. Also, it requires a much larger dose to be effective. We don't have enough Duridium on board to protect the whole crew. We barely have enough to protect everyone in this room.
Sounds like it won't do us much good then.
The use case I'd suggest is that it could buy a little time for an officer or a small group to complete a task or mission. But it has to be taken at the moment of exposure to the bioforming mechanism.
Prepare a delivery method for this remedy.
That raises the question. What is the mission?
Assuming the Aphelion uses shields of some kind, I don't expect it will be easy to bypass their defenses.
We may not be able to block the Aphelions' attack either. But if they do strike, we know their weapon uses transporter technology. We might be able to backtrack their signal path.
Like we did to evacuate Captain Rydek from Tau.
Exactly. We could send an away team onto the Aphelion.
So we could destroy it from the inside.
I'm not exactly sure how, but that's the idea.
So it's like jujitsu. We use their attack and turn it against them.
That's the idea.
We'll keep thinking on it. I'd rather not have to take a direct hit to punch back. There might be some other way we can turn their strength into a weakness.
We'll need to prepare a boarding party, if it comes to that.
Petty Officers Edsalar and Diaz are the logical choices to lead any away mission to the Aphelion. They have already crippled one enemy ship. If anyone can do so again, it is them.
This isn't like the engineering mission that took you to the Zeldi. Do you really have some special insights that a tactical team wouldn't?
Doesn't the fact that we're here speak for itself?
Just surviving won't be enough this time.
We found that only a Takan can operate their technology to its fullest. So, unless we want to try to do this with one hand tied behind our backs, we're definitely gonna need an assist from this portal guy.
I like that even less.
Like it or not, that's the truth.
Yes. Portal should be part of the away team. There's no question in my mind.
If this is the necessary course of action, I support it.
I will compile all the latest data on the tricorders, just in case.
In the meantime, I want you working on ways we can combat the Takan tech. Shields, weapons, anything we can use.
Yes, Captain.
Anything else, Ambassador?
I know this matter is in capable hands. Hold the line as best you can. Help is on the way.
Thank you. I have faith in all of you to meet this moment with the urgency it requires. I expect all of us to give it everything we've got. Thank you, Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar. You're dismissed.
While we have a quorum of senior staff, there is a procedural element we need to take care of. The Resolute command codes must be transferred to Captain Rydek for control of the ship.
Of course.
Computer, transfer all command codes to Captain Jara Rydek. Voice authorization Ermot, Echo 4 Lima.
Voice authorization Duval. Beta 2 Yankee.
Voice authorization Westbrook. Alpha 7 Tango.
Awaiting your authorization, Captain.
Voice authorization, Rydek. Alpha 5. X-ray.
Captain's codes the updated command structure is incomplete. Please designate a new first officer.
Who is the new first officer?
Please designate a new first officer.
It is an honor and a pleasure to name Commander Westbrook as my new first officer.
Thank you, Captain. You made the right choice.
Congratulations, Commander. It's long overdue.
I know we've had our differences, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate this.
Computer, Commander Westbrook is the new first officer of the USS Resolute.
Awaiting voice authorization.
Voice authorization Westbrook. Alpha 7 Tango.
Authorization is now complete.
Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
Nicely done. I think that went well.
Captain, could I have a word with you?
Give me a minute.
Look, I respect your decision, Captain. Commander Westbrook has seniority, and I can understand why you might have felt pressure to promote him. But what I can't understand is why you would choose someone so clearly unsuited for the position. It's the very reason why Captain Solano chose you over him. Because he knew Westbrook as first officer would be disastrous.
I know you're disappointed, but I trust his experience. And I need to rely on him now more than ever.
But that's just it. We can't afford to make any mistakes. And that's my concern with Commander Westbrook. Maybe I've had it wrong this whole time. But I thought we've had an excellent working relationship almost from the moment you first arrived. Yes, I was insulted when you didn't trust me with the information about Captain Solano being compromised, but I've always supported you, which is certainly more than you can say about Westbrook. He was always against you, especially with regard to Captain Solano. But I guess loyalty counts for nothing with you.
Listen, I value your opinion more than just about anyone's. I rely on it. And if we're going to beat Galvin, I'll need your help now more than ever. So please, don't be discouraged.
I'll be fine. Just give me some time.
I don't understand. Kimmy got everything she's got, but it doesn't make a difference. Something is actively slowing us down.
Keep trying. What's the situation in engineering?
I can't raise them. Internal comms are down.
It's the ionic interference. It's spiking again. If we reinitialize the central communications trunk, it should compensate.
If I may, Captain. Communications are critical to ship operations, and I should go take care of this.
Go.
I was hoping we could buy enough time until Starfleet could send more ships. But it looks like we might have to face off against the Aphelion sooner than we might want. If it's just us, I don't like our chances.
I'll consider any suggestions from my first officer.
We're being pulled out of warp!
The Aphelion is closing on us, and fast.
We're being hailed by the Aphelion. Galvin demands to be heard.
On screen.
You thought you could run? That I would let you escape so easily after taking what's mine? How pathetic and predictable. At least you can take solace knowing you'll be a far braver Takan than you were as a cowardly Kobliad. Is it any wonder your people perished? If your every instinct is to run from a fight?
You underestimate the lengths I'm willing to go to ensure you don't succeed.
Sadly, this is as far as you'll get. We both know I hold your fate in the palm of my hand. That I could crush you in an instant if I so desired. And as much as I'd like to, you have another purpose to serve. As one of us.
Red alert! Handar, get us out Evasive maneuvers!
They've hit the engineering section. No systems or structural damage, though.
They were targeting the crew, not the ship.
Captain, we have to respond. Hit him in the mouth. What are your orders?
Fire photon torpedoes! Target the source of the beam!
The Aphelion remains undamaged by the photon torpedoes, Captain. And its shields are fully intact. It's too powerful to take head-on.
Damage report from the lower decks.
I still can't raise them, Captain.
Could be that the system's down. Or that was the Takan bioforming ray. And there's no one left down there to respond. The Takan may already be on this ship. No way of knowing how bad it is yet.
Seal the bridge. No one gets access without my permission.
I think that's for the best.
Here are your new tricorders. Now go. Get to the transporter room.
We don't know who's on what side, Carter. Come on!
Transporter room 1.
You're coming with us?
A security officer told me your funeral, which I gladly accepted.
These are concentrated Duridium doses. You need to take the dose as soon as you're exposed for it to be effective. Hell, take it right before if you can get the Takan to wait while you do it.
I'm having trouble locking onto the transporter path through the interference.
I've done this before. I have to align the transporter with the tetrametric signature. We need to tunnel through the shields. There's a problem. We don't have enough power to make the jump. I might be able to divert power from—
Stand aside. The signal is now resolved. I couldn't let you fumble about any longer.
That's great. You must be Portal 6-3.
Yes. Guardian of the Takon Empire.
I'm Carter. Engineer of the Starship Resolute.
We're right behind you.
Do us proud over there. Ready to transport.
Energize.
The glory of it. This ship is a marvel. Even to me. It's almost a shame we have to scuttle it. The galaxy has never seen a ship like this.
It is beautiful. I'll give you that.
Resolute, come in! We're losing cohesion. I'm gonna try to use my tricorder as a pattern enhancer. The signal's gone. Are they there? Did you get them?
They didn't make it.
The interference is too strong. We're trapped here.
We have to get to the Cartabula and disable it.
Hopefully before the battle group shows up.
Get served up for the Aphelions' next meal.
I am saturated in Taconian power readings. I can't feel the source just yet.
This way.
I can't reach anyone. At least not on the lower decks. It's like they're all gone. The comm systems seem to be operational again.
That bioforming ray may have transformed dozens of crew members on the lower decks.
This ship could be swarming with resurrected Takon. It's only a matter of time before they come to their senses and take action.
Which means we have a narrow window of time to cut them off before...
Captain, we're holding them off as best we can on Deck 9, but...
If they spread throughout the decks, we'll never know who to trust.
Lock down the affected areas immediately. Close the bulkheads and erect the containment fields. No one is allowed in or out without my authorization.
There could be crew members who weren't affected who could get locked inside.
That's a risk we'll have to take.
Initiating a lockdown now.
And what happens if some of the bioformed manage to escape? How should the crew engage them? Or should they? We don't want suspicion to run rampant.
We should be cautious. If a situation arises, I want phasers set to stun.
Of course. I'll let the crew know to proceed with caution.
Have we heard anything from Commander Ermot?
No. And he's been gone for quite some time.
The comm system he went to investigate. It's near the affected area. Commander Ermot. Commander Ermot, can you hear me?
Computer shutdown initiated.
According to this, it was initiated by Commander Ermont.
What?
The central computer core will shut down in 10 minutes. We'll lose all critical ship functions. It can only be overridden by the captain at the core itself.
With me.
Stop! Identify yourselves!
We're just trying to figure out what's happening. To hell with it.
You have to get to the computer core! Go!
The master console is up there. I don't have much time.
Captain Rydick, it's me, Commander Ermont. First Officer Westbrook insisted I find you immediately. Let me get this door open. I think I remember the code. I hope you haven't been hurt, Captain. It's not safe here. Captain, don't do anything rash.
Computer termination sequence in progress.
Damn it!
Be reasonable, Captain. There's a time to fight and a time to admit defeat.
Computer termination sequence in progress. Awaiting Captain's authorization.
Cancel computer shutdown!
Okay, wait. Just hear me out. Listen to reason. There's no need to do anything impulsive.
You just tried to kill me.
I was only acting on orders. I didn't mean any harm. You know we'd rather have you with us. We can make a deal, right? Come to terms.
Awaiting Captain's authorization. Awaiting Captain's authorization.
Cancel computer shutdown. Voice authorization, Rydick. Alpha. 5. X-ray.
Termination sequence cancelled.